Next, let's talk about closures in JavaScript. So oftentimes, a function, an inner function, will be inserted into an outer function, and this will allow us to access locally scoped variables inside of the outer function, and we can then use them in the inner function, and those values are protected, okay? Meaning that we can't actually alter the namespace, and we can't actually call the inner function outside of the function on its own. So this actually limits the ability of our program to access the information, and we can protect pieces of information using what's known as a closure. Okay, so here we have a function called askAge that we're declaring here. Okay, and then down here we're calling it, we're saying askAge, and when we call this function, it's creating a local variable here called age, which is equal to 32. Okay, so outside of this askAge function, we do not have the ability to change the age. The age is always going to be set to this local variable amount here of 32. All right. And then after that, we have another function we're declaring called alertAge. Okay. And outside of the askAge function, we do not have access to the alertAge function. It's only when we first call the askAge function that we enter the scope of this function. Okay. So here inside of the askAge function, again, we've set a variable with the age of 32, which has local scope inside of this askAge function. And we've also created a function called alertAge, and here we're calling it immediately. So anytime we call the askAge function, we're also simultaneously then calling the alertAge function, which will come here and alert the age here, which is 32. Okay. So here, age has local scope and protected namespace, meaning if we create another variable somewhere else outside of this function that's also called age, it will not interfere with this value of 32 for this age variable. Okay, and also the age alert here, this inner function, is known as a closure, and this is called when its parent askAge is called. So closures are essentially an inner function that's wrapped with an outer function and has access to locally scoped variables and methods inside of that outer function. Okay, closures can also be anonymous functions that simply just run when a parent function is called.